Hey guys, welcome back to Dizzle in Motion. Today's top story is tariffs are having an impact. We knew they would, but now they're moving into the automotive sector and people are getting a little bit nervous, especially when you look at the stocks. So I'm going to go over what's going on, what's Trump saying, what's the intentions, what I hope's going to happen, and a little bit from Reuters for some more insight on the news side of it. Let's roll the intro. All right, guys, so let's get into this. Will be straight, short, and sweet video, just talking about, again, tariffs, how they affect the automotive industry, and what's going on with the stock market right now, and what we can anticipate to come in the future. So now, of course, tariffs mean that when you buy things and they come from other places, manufactured abroad, you're going to pay a higher tax on them, right? So even though we place tariffs on other countries, it's actually us paying the higher cost because it's supposed to discourage us from purchasing it and encourage manufacturers to make things here domestically in the United States. That's the desired behavior that tariffs are actually made to do. So while they sound great, it sounds like we're taxing our enemies or our adversaries, actually taxing ourselves. And a lot of people, I think, are just not aware of how that concept works. Now, it can be a positive thing, but there is so many moving parts that have to be adjusted because we are on a completely different system. We've made tariffs over the last 60 years into like a weaponized system where you basically do it when you're not getting your way. You want to leverage somebody, somebody's pissing you off, somebody's, doing something bad with their military, human rights, yada, yada, yada. Well, Trump's idea, like I said, theoretically it can work, but none of the rest of our systems and our economy are set up for this. Our tax system's not set up for it. All our manufacturing has been shipped outside. And I know his goal is to bring it in, but there's going to be a lot of pain associated if he holds his ground on this. There will be at least a mini recession. You can mark my words if he sticks to his guns on all of the tariff stuff. So let's get into how it's affecting vehicles right now. So there's only two manufacturers in the automotive world that are 100% in the United States. That is Tesla and Rivian. So they're not going to have as adverse of an effect in that regard. Because they're domestic. In fact, I believe they're both in the green today, while most of the other Stellantis, everybody else was tanking. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw up a chart here. This is a very well-sourced data chart. You can actually verify yourself. And it breaks down the share of US sold vehicles assembled in the United States. So you can see right there. So Rivian, Tesla. So, and then what's interesting though, when you get down to GM, they're basically 50-50. GM is about as American as Toyota and BMW in some circumstances. So again, some of these things are based on final assembly. This is where the majority or the percentage of parts are made, final assembly, stuff like that. And there's all kinds of games they play. If it has to be subject to a tax or a tariff based on where the engine's made or the final assembly, there's a lot of moving parts to that. Let me read you something that I got from Reuters real quick. And just here we go. So shares of several automakers declined after Trump on Wednesday announced 25% tariffs on all cars that are not made in the United States, which will go into effect on April 2nd. GM pulled back 6%, Stellantis lost more than 2%, and Ford slipped 3%. Trump has long discussed imposing duties on countries that have their own tariffs on U.S. imports and said on Wednesday that his retaliatory tariffs will be permanent for his entire second term. Still, hints provided by the president this week about the upcoming April 2nd levy has given investors some relief. He said Wednesday the tariffs be very lenient and he would be willing to reduce tariffs on China to help further a deal with ByteDance TikTok. What is the freaking obsession with TikTok here? At the same time, using tariffs as a negotiating tactic, he threatened on Thursday to impose far larger tariffs on the European Union and Canada if they work together to combat trade tariffs. Trump's announcements came as investors are already anxious about how his retaliatory tariffs will affect the broader U.S. economy, which is already showing some signs of weakness. Consumer confidence, for example, reached a 12-year low in March, according to a conference board report. So yeah, this is not all sunshine and rainbows. Even if it works, let's say it does, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a proponent. I don't have faith that this is even going to work because there's, like I said, the whole system is not set up for it anymore. We'd be better off if we want to fix our economy and our deficit and things like that. I mean, I'm just a dude, but I think a flat tax, simplifying the tax code, removing tax loopholes, that kind of stuff, I think is more beneficial. And we can integrate that into our existing system. Playing the tariff game, I just don't see a way we can do it without having a total crap recession for a year or two. That's just my opinion. Others, I think, agree. Mostly people that are just going to make it about Trump himself. But I'm saying there's good policies, there's bad policies. EPA stuff, removing emissions, good policies. Tariffs, I don't think it's good policy, guys. Anyway, so what can we look forward to? It sounds like he wants to see who's going to play ball as usually. He wants, I mean, I know part of it's ego, but he also has to see some movement there because he has to be able to say, look what I did, guys, because I'm amazing. I mean, all politicians do that to some degree, but Trump is probably the master of that, right? So we'll see how it shakes out. I think if anybody shows willingness to work, I think he will back down from the 25% number. It's unbearable. Some of the numbers I've seen go up is they're talking about 10 to 15% cost increase on vehicles. So it's just not sustainable. It's not realistic in the long run. What do you guys think? And I know anytime we talk about Trump, I'm going to get crazy polarizing comments. But do you think the tariffs are a smart move in regards to automobiles? I know we talk about it about all the other goods and consumer stuff, but in regards to auto manufacturing, we're already struggling here. And also, do you think it's going to force Stellantis and all these other companies to bring their 48, 52% shares and make them 100% American again? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching the video. Appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.